It's 2018. Happy New Year, you guys. So much has happened over this last year, especially all the content that I've been able to produce here on my YouTube channel. And I just had to review this last year with you and for you guys because you have been such a big part of this last year. Last year, around this exact time, I was so up in my head about doing something that I love. I was completely up in my head about doing more media work. I loved making videos and I knew that I wanted to vlog more, but I wasn't quite sure how. And I knew I wanted to build my YouTube channel, but I also wasn't entirely sure how. So one day, as uncomfortable and awkward and scary as it was, I just decided to pick up my camera. That's it. I'm just gonna bite the bullet and go for it and do it, even though I've got a shit ton of stuff happening in December. Because I've got so much going on, I don't think I'm gonna do a lot of editing. So this is gonna be very raw, unedited footage. I hope you find this interesting. I'm so excited to be doing Vlogmas. I'm here, I'm showing up for the Vlogmas party. Here we go. It's only been a year since that time, and look at everything I've been able to accomplish. I cannot believe that in only a year, there are almost 6,000 of you subscribed to my YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel has hit almost 350,000 views. It's incredible. It just blows my mind. I can't believe it. So as we kick off this new year, I just had to look back at 2017 with you. Just before 2017 hit, I experienced one of the biggest milestones of my life. The day of the wedding. Ooh, I can't believe it. I married the man of my dreams, Mr. Chris Green. Then, very shortly after we got back from our wedding, we got Oscar. And he's now become the second love of my life. When 2017 hit, I decided that this was going to be one of the most memorable years of my life. And January kicked off with fresh content on YouTube. And I launched my new series, A Day in the Life of a Busy Entrepreneur. I wanted to share my life with you as an entrepreneur and hopefully inspire you to reach for more, achieve more in your personal life and in your business life. And I felt like that do feel like that I have a lot to offer as someone who has been running a business for the last 8 years and who's now in a position to take the business to the next level. And I don't know how to do this any other way than to be super real with you and super real in these vlogs. There could be a day where there's just a tipping point and just like an explosion of like visibility and new people coming through the door and new clients and new projects and all that stuff. Like, you have to be so confident as a business owner, and you kind of have to like have a little bit of tunnel vision and be unwavering in your beliefs about your own success. So you just have to put on blinders and just have to say to yourself, no, I know I'm going to succeed. I know that this is going to work. I know that I can do it. I know that I can make it happen, and trudge forward. Through that series, I get to show you the day-to-day of my interior design practice, and you guys have just loved seeing the behind the scenes of my business. I also launched my interview series called Cocktail Conversations, where I interview fellow entrepreneurs. It's the show where we have a stiff drink and a great entrepreneurial conversation. I'm now thinking about turning it into a podcast or strictly a Facebook show. I don't know. What do you guys think? During the winter months, Chris and I try to travel as much as we can. For fun, Chris and I spent a weekend in Washington at Mount Baker. We hit the slopes during the day.
just did our first few runs.
And cozied up in the cabin at night. It was super romantic. At the end of the month, I got to meet some of you guys while speaking at the 4th annual Vision Board Party in Vancouver.
Being successful as an interior designer is being able to create a very, very strong visualization, communicate that to your client, and the more detailed that we can be when we're communicating that to our client, and the more understanding there is, the building process and the execution process is going to end up exactly the way that we visualized it. And so I was so excited to be speaking today because I feel like that's a great metaphor for creating a visualization for your life. The more detailed that you can be and the more exact that you can be, and the more you can even communicate that to somebody else, the more likely it is that it's going to happen for you.
It was so cool to meet some of you guys. In February, I took Chris to Vegas for his birthday. Yes, Vegas. And because golf is one of our favorite hobbies, on that same trip, we flew over to Phoenix for a few days to play a few rounds. I started a new penthouse project in China, so I flew to Chengdu. I've been to China before, but I've never been to Chengdu, and it was incredible. While checking up on the project, I got to tour some of the city.
Jennifer, where are we?
What are we doing?
It's very famous in Chengdu. Yeah.
I saw incredible Chinese markets, got to taste some of the amazing Sichuan food, and visited pandas. I have never ever in my life seen a panda before, and they are so adorable. And guess what? I also got to see Gary Vee. He has been a huge source of inspiration for me, and I got to see him live at Man Talks, one of the best conferences I have ever been to in Vancouver. When April hit, I attempted one of my first sponsored videos. It was with Nike and CrossFit. Have you seen it? I also did a ton of traveling in the spring. I flew to New York with Sama for Create and Cultivate, a lifestyle conference. The conference was just okay, but New York? Okay, New York was New York. We explored, we shopped, we ate, we saw friends, and we laughed. It was awesome. In May, I celebrated my company's 8-year anniversary. I cannot believe that it's been 8 years since I started building House of Bohn, but it was so incredible to celebrate with my amazing
Happy
team.
anniversary!
Speaking of work, I also added some great talent to my team. Karina, who you guys have met many times, was promoted to intermediate designer. Christy joined my team as a junior designer. Diane came on board as an editor. Adrian came on board as my new assistant. And just recently, we added Jill, another junior designer. Of course, I can't leave out Stacy, who's my office manager, and Kristen, who you guys also know as Sama, and she's been behind the camera in all of these vlogs. In short, my team at House of Bohn has been amazing. That spring, Sama and I headed to VidCon, the big YouTube conference in California. Now that was also a good conference. There was so much to see. We learned so much, and the energy was electric. While I was in Los Angeles, I finally stopped by the Kelly Wearstler boutique. Now you guys know Kelly Wearstler is one of my biggest interior design inspirations. I also got to tour the brand new Lindsay Edelman boutique, and it was beautiful. By the time summer hit, and after months of planning, I finally launched Bonafide. Bonafide has been one of my biggest successes here on YouTube to date. I decided to do an entire series around my own personal home renovation. Welcome to my home. The reason I'm calling it Bonafide is because this is going to be a very real, authentic, and genuine renovation, and you guys are going to be able to see it all. Design, permitting, construction, and the entire renovation. I'm so thankful and grateful that you have been loving the series, and I can't wait to finally get construction going. It's gonna happen, you guys, I promise. Before going back to work in the fall, Chris and I did the most amazing road trip down the Oregon coast. We also got to see his parents in Prince Edward Island, which is on the east coast of Canada. I hit the ground running in the fall with my involvement at IDS, the big interior design show at the convention center here in Vancouver. I teamed up with Grey Magazine to host.
Today we're doing something very special. We're doing a Grey TV. We're going to be interviewing a lot of the main stage speakers, some architects, designers, makers.
And I spoke on the main stage about West Coast luxury interior design.
Most of the pieces that are in this space are custom designed. So that cabinet there is actually a shoe cabinet. It took about 4 months to build that cabinet. In this project, I think the design team spent almost 2,000 hours working on this. And so people are always surprised when I talk about, the amount of time that goes into these projects and sort of like the care and attention that goes into it.
But my big highlight in the fall was sailing through St. Vincent and the Grenadines for our honeymoon.
This 1000% is so beautiful. I feel like the water is so much more turquoise here. The beaches are so clean and serene.
We went island hopping, snorkeling with turtles. We slept under the stars. It was perfect. It was so romantic and the best honeymoon I could have ever imagined. This holiday season has been full of time with loved ones. Chris and I have been spending as much time as possible with our family, with friends, and with my work family, of course. Which brings me back to the new year. And you guys. I just cannot believe that you guys have joined me on this journey. And wherever you are, no matter how old, how young, what language you speak, or what time zone you're in, I am so grateful that you've joined me on this journey. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you and I love you. And if there's just one message that I can leave you with, and that I hope you take away from this video, I want to inspire you guys to just do whatever you want to do in 2018. If there's something that you're dreaming about or thinking about or scared to do, just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Don't overthink about it. Definitely don't overthink about it. Don't doubt yourself. Just go for it. And I promise by you putting action into practice, it will come to life and it will be revealed and magical things will happen. I promise. So let's all make 2018 an incredible year, and I'm so excited to see more of you in 2018. I'll see you soon. Bye for now. I think it's a wrap. I think we did it.